It's happening again. It's happening again. The real problem at Man United seems to be rearing its head. Or in fact, what is the real problem? Because when players leave Man United, this is not a new thing. When players leave Man United, they instantly become better. Rasmus Hojlund, brace, Champions League. Scored on his debut as well in the league. Marcus Rashford, 7 GA now. 4 assists, 3 goals. Brilliant last night for Barca. Playing on the opposite flank to Lamine Yamal. Anthony Elanga, man of the match, away in Champions League. You can look at the opposition, but the facts are the facts. Are we doing too much in terms of saying, oh, this player's not that good, actually, no, but they were crap for us, let's not rewrite history, they were rubbish? Or is the real problem here at Man United? We are focusing on the manager and how bad he's been. But every single player leaves and looks better. Most of them. Anthony enjoying at Betis last season. Even the other day against Forest, goal and assist. What is it? It can't all just be Ruben. And this is where the other side of it goes, where people say, what about these players? What about the environment of Man United? I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Is it players? Is it the environment? Is it the manager? What is it? Smash a like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. All of the talk has happened. Yeah, Anthony scored with his right foot as well. Great finish. All of the talk is happening online. It always happens, obviously, when hate watches happen and, you know, this, that, and the other. And you go, well, yeah, I know Hojlund was rubbish. Like, he was for us. Like, but there's some people saying, when did he ever get past like that? When was he ever running through on goal like that? Kevin De Bruyne sorted that out in a couple of games. What are we doing? When did Bruno ever give him a pass like that? But our manager's got... Yep. Here we go, Owen. Here we go.
Yeah, it's an interesting...
Here we go on the show as well.
Yes, we do have a Here We Go in the show indeed as well. Yes, like you said, Flex, is it the players? Is it the club? Is it the environment? Is it the culture? Another week, another Champions League match day, and more ex-Manchester United players making the headlines for positive reasons. Let's get into it, Flex. Last night, Rasmus Hojlund gets his goals for Napoli. Like you said, a brace, player of the match. Of course, he did score goals for Manchester United in the Champions League. Now he's back in the competition. He's pointing to the logo right there. Gets the player of the match with 2 goals. Kevin De Bruyne with some interesting comments on Rasmus Hojlund as well. He says, I think Rasmus is growing a lot and is very similar to Haaland. Remember when we had those conversations about, is he similar, isn't he? Those comparisons. They both like to attack the depth. Hojlund comes to play the ball towards us more. He needs to attack the space a lot because he can score and give us a big hand, which is quite interesting. Maybe saying that Hojlund, again, it's managerial instruction. That's the difference. Tactics, this, that, and the other. Of course, exactly Marcus Rashford, last week, he got player of the match against Newcastle, got his 2 goals. Last night, he gets an assist. Has been, you know, putting some impressive performances for Barcelona. Last night, Anthony Elanga... with the player of the match.
My son.
For Newcastle. It really was. It has been, these Champions League match days have just been sort of an exercise in maybe, you know, life might be better for you if you leave Manchester United, which is when we get into this big conversation, right? And as is always the case, Flex, it's never one specific particular thing, but there is something going on there, isn't there? There's enough evidence to suggest that there is a correlation between leaving Manchester United and your performances improving or having a better environment to succeeding, having a better platform to succeed on. Whether it be because, you know, the pressure, the scrutiny at Manchester United, even very talented players can crumble under that. Whether it's the structure at Manchester United, from executive ownership level down, it's so chaotic that it doesn't help a player succeed. Whether it be just the overall culture at Manchester United, right? From academy all the way up, you're allowed to get away with more things. Standards have been dropped. It's acceptable not to put in the required effort. It's acceptable to walk around. Whether it's the coaching, because the coaches aren't the right coaches at Manchester United. There's a lot, isn't there? There's a lot of different reasons. And I think all of those ones I mentioned there, they're all they're all a part of it. And as Fex says there in the chat, you get people like Mateus Cunha, one of the most sought after players in the Premier League last season, coming to Manchester United, struggling. Benjamin Šeško, a really sought after striker across Europe, now struggling. Is he? Isn't he? All that. Even Brian Mbeumo is the most productive out of those three. It's but he's still going in and out. I'm not sure. It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's an interesting one in that I think it's all of those aspects there. I'm seeing, like I said, executive ownership level down, academy up, the cultural issues, platform pressure, coaching. But it just goes to show, doesn't it? There is something wrong here. There is something wrong here because this keeps happening
consistently. And I think it's got to the worst point ever now. And it's so true that all of those things are right. All of those things are right. There's so many statements that can be true at the same time. The fact is that when we were looking at these players play for our club, 100% they were way off it. Like, they weren't performing. They weren't good enough. Their confidence went as well, because that's a common theme. The confidence goes from these players, all of them, from Rashford to Rasmus, to Anthony, to Elanga, to whoever it may be, to Scott McTominay. Actually, to be fair to him, right up until he left, he was still coming off the bench and actually doing well in a position that was decent for him. Yeah. But played in a position that really wasn't his position for most of his Man United career. All right. So it's down to squad building as well. It's down to the way we build our squads and the managers we get to coincide with building said squad. And then you get managers that fall into a trap of not building a very successful squad and the methods don't work. Then the players and the team's unbalanced because the players are not just in the wrong positions, but the team doesn't play very well as a whole unit. So they just become null and void. You look at someone like Rasmus. I'm not surprised to see him score a few goals at Napoli. I'm not. Like, it doesn't mean he's the best thing since sliced bread. It doesn't necessarily mean we shouldn't have sold him or let him move on. But it also does show that it wasn't all just him being this terrible footballer who can't do anything. And that's what we were saying. I certainly was saying it. Like, he'll go and do well. I know I was a bit over the top when I was that day when they went and I was putting them comments in saying it'd be top 5 scorers in the league or top 7 or some shit like that. But I'm messing about. But overall, like, I know that, like, he's going to get chances in that league. He's going to play in a team that's settled with a good manager who knows what he's doing. With
champions.
Players, and they're champions, right? They're champions. Yeah. He will get chances. And like Kevin De Bruyne is saying it straight there, like, he just needs to focus on kind of running into the space more. Like, don't really come towards us. That's the
wrestle.
Yeah, exactly. And what happened when he was playing for us? Not once, I say not once, very rarely was he in attacking situations, bearing down on the goal, 1v1, get your shot off Rasmus.
In his first season, when he was scoring those goals,
those were the goals he was scoring.
Yeah.
Those were, and that's why I was always saying in the first season, we went, well, this guy scored 16 in all comps. In a condensed period, he struggled at the beginning, struggled a bit at the end, but he scored 16 in all comps. And we went, something to work with there. Something to work with. He needs help. Go and get an experienced striker. Go and get another top striker. Help him out. But what did we do? We failed him. We came back with Joshua Zirkzee. He's not even a striker. And then all the other stuff happened. Then his confidence just got absolutely shot. Then it turns into he's just the worst thing since sliced bread. Worst signing we've ever had. Worst striker I've ever seen. And now he's playing with Kevin De Bruyne and Scott McTominay. Guess what? He doesn't look like the worst striker we've ever seen again. And he's getting those chances. So I think that all of it's true. I think it's so true that the environment at Man United is corrosive, bro. It is. Like, it eats into players. Yes, and I don't mean just the pressure of playing for Man United. Don't like misconstrue what I'm saying. There's that's like the badge is too heavy. Badge is too heavy. You're just not up to the task. And then there's, nah, man, like, it's fundamentally broken here. So if you look at it now, Ruben is part of some of it because his system doesn't get the best out of anyone. Then you look at the players that have been brought in under previous managers and the quality and how they've all been put together. It just hasn't worked because it hasn't been put together. It's not just the pressure. It's not because, last time I checked, Napoli is a big football club. Last time I checked, Barcelona is a massive football club. Playing with Lamine Yamal and Pedri and bloody Dani Olmo and De Jong and Lewandowski. Last time I checked, that's pressure. playing for Barcelona is massive pressure, equal to / greater than Man United at this current moment. So Rashford's fine all of a sudden. And it isn't just because he's just choosing to just do that now. It isn't just that. Some of it is like, oh, when things were going tough, you were walking and you were this. But the environment does matter. We can't act like it doesn't. And our environment's awful. And you can see people just leaving, they're free.
Like I said, it doesn't change that. You know, it's not like, okay, Hojlund scored a couple goals in the Champions League now, and it's like, oh, we should have never loaned him out or anything like that. You know, two things can be true at the same time. You know what I mean? These things can be true at the same time. So with Hojlund, still the right call to loan him out if they didn't think that he was the right guy, couldn't play in the system, was struggling with the pressure at Manchester United, whatever it made, loss of confidence. That can still be true. So it's not to say that this is a revision of, oh, he's always been amazing, he's always been good, so it's just on Manchester United. No, but there is something clearly with players not being able to succeed at Manchester United because, again, like the platform that they're being given isn't the right one. The scrutiny from the press, from the fans, we hold a part in this as well. I think in the sense of we've seen it. If someone comes in and does a couple of good performances, again, we've got such a messiah complex where we need someone to save us, don't we? We're desperate for someone to save us and someone to latch onto, and we do. And then when they drop off, then we treat them horrifically, don't we? And say, you're fucking crap. You're exactly. This, you're that. And it's like, whoa, they've just had a little drop in performance. Like you said, I think definitely the coaches.
Guys, big up. I hear you, but there's a reason why De Bruyne is at Napoli and Hojlund is scoring. One, the Champions League is slower and the Italian league is weak. Do we need to look at those things? You got to look at the opposition, where they're operating, etc., etc. Could you do that?
Do we say that to make ourselves feel a bit better, though? Because look at what we're saying now. Look at what we're saying. And we're going, Italian league's not that good. Champions League's quite slow. It's not as good. It's not like playing.
Well, the other one, Owen.
It's not like playing Brentford every week.
The other one you just reminded me is people were saying, which is a fact. It's a fact. Is his European record was always good for us. He didn't have problems scoring in Europe.
It's like Sho said in the chat, it is true. We are sort of Cove POFC up with stuff like that of like, Serie A's not that good though, is it? You know what I mean? And Champions, who even wants to be in the Champions? Those games are boring.
Especially these early stages, playing all those games.
Yeah, of course he's going to score goals in that competition we can't get into. Of course he's going to do well in that competition that we're just not even good enough to be in. Yeah.
Shout out WJ Barrett. Let us know. Is it a bit of hopium there, bro, or what are you saying?